Hello, Days Our Lives fans. This is for Thursday, May 8th. Please like, subscribe, and share. So, Chanel is talking to Abe about how she's feeling, and he's telling her he hopes that they work things out. And she tells him that she really does love Johnny, and she doesn't understand why he just kind of dropped this on her, and that she's finding it hard to forgive him for what he has done. And if he doesn't want children now, that really changes things. So Chad is explaining to Kat that she will not be going out on that bachelor date with EJ that she auctioned off at the fundraiser. That Chad's going to be the one going with her, and she's like, "Oh, really?" So they're flirting this little situation back and forth. They are so cute together. I wish Billy Flynn hadn't left the show. They could have really went somewhere. Maybe they'll recast him. I hate to say that, but I really do like the Chad Tamara character, and I think there needs to be a Chad. So anyway, they're doing that. EJ's waiting at Kayla's desk when she comes in, and he's like, "We've got unfinished business." And so he's still trying to talk her into selling the hospital to him. And she's saying, absolutely not. This hospital is important to so many people, and I just can't let it fall into the wrong hands. He said, "So you'd rather let it go bankrupt?" And she's like, "No, yeah, I guess." No, she's like, well, she's got other options possibly. So he tells her she's going to regret this. So she tells Sarah about it when Sarah comes in to talk to her. And Sarah pipes up. She's like, "That's great. He can afford to buy it. We can all keep our jobs." And Kayla's like, "Oh, no, I flat out turned him down. I think he's got an ulterior motive." And she said, "Well, don't pay attention to what I say. You're the chief of staff. If you don't want it, then you know what's best. That just means if he's interested, there are more buyers out there," which there are. Xander wants to buy it. So he has not made his move yet. So she calls up Patch and says, "Look, if y'all going to steal that, you need to steal it now. I just sent the doctor out of town, so get on it." So Johnny goes in to talk to Xander and asking him, "Why do you want me to work for you? I don't know anything, And he's like, just to get on your father's nerves. And he's like, "Well, I can go for that for sure." So he's like, "It should really hurt him that I'm working for the company that was stolen away from him." Then he runs into Chad and Kat in the square because, they're playing their little games. And he's telling Johnny, he's like, "Look, your dad's really sorry, and he's really wanting to see you. Maybe y'all could patch things up." And he's like, "Patch things up? Have you ever had somebody hurt you this bad? There's no patching nothing up." So, sorry, Chad. Johnny's being a little prick. I don't know. I don't like Johnny anymore. I change my mind who I like every week. So Marlena runs into EJ at the hospital, and he's telling her, "I'm trying to do things good to prove to people I'm a changed man, and nobody wants to let me. How can I do that, Marlena?" And she said, "Well, you just have to understand how many people you've hurt, but don't give up, So he goes home. The doctor is waiting for him, and he's like, "No, Kayla still says she's not going to sell me the hospital, but trust me, we may have lost this battle, but we will win the war." And when he's walking away from him, his phone rings, and on the other end of the phone, well, he tells EJ he's got to go out of town for this conference of crap. On the other end of the phone was none other than Xander. And he identifies himself and says, "I'm interested in your research." And he said, "I'm bound to the university hospital." He said, "Well, I think I'm going to buy the university hospital." So this is going to be a war between Xander and EJ on who buys the hospital. But whoever's got some dirt to hang over somebody's head, that's who's going to get it, that's for sure. So they're getting ready to go away on their little mini honeymoon, and they're eating a little pastry, and Sarah has some kind of allergic reaction and falls over, and they start yelling for an ambulance. That's actually how it went off today. Before that, Marlena has met with Johnny for breakfast, and she's talking to him about different things. He tells her about working for Xander, and she doesn't know if that's a good idea, but he doesn't either. And she tells him, his dad's wanting to talk to him. And he said, I don't know, I just don't want to talk to him. And then in walks EJ. So Marlena says, if you want me to stay, I will. And Johnny says, no, it's okay. I can handle it. And EJ walks up to him and says, Johnny? But, Johnny didn't say anything. That is a wrap for today. Thank you, as always, for watching, liking, and subscribing.